Welcome to Frederick's Workshop. My name is Jason. Today I'm going to make a stand for my cell phone. As you can see, I just leaned it up against my monitor here at my work desk. So if I stand it up this direction, it blocks the screen some. So I always lay it down like this and just kind of let it sit like that right there. But I'm going to make a nice little stand to set it on right here as well. And that's it. Let's get to work. Okay, so what I'm thinking about doing, I use this piece of padauk I got here to do a bit of an inlay in there, kind of like this. But these are a piece of my leftover mahogany from my last project that I've got left over. So that looks like it'll be about the right height as far as that goes whenever I do these here. The only thing is I don't want to waste all of that, so I need to cut this piece in half best I can. So I'm thinking about doing is planing these down, the thickness planing these down a little bit thinner, gluing this in here, gluing that in there like that, and then taking my flush cut saw and then just cutting it all the way down through that. So I'm going to go a little bit thinner so I've got a little bit more of that left over to do another piece in there somewhere, another piece of inlay like that. So first, like I said, I'm going to go plane these guys down a little bit thinner just to get them about the same. Alright, so I got these down to, plane them down to about pretty much 5/8 of an inch, which would work out great because this is 1.5 inches. So I can put this in there, glue it up, and then cut it, and then use this extra piece to put some more into it. So first off, let's get the sticker off of here. I'm going to throw this away. And now I want to move. I'm just going to fold this bag up here, get all my stuff off of it. Jesus, come on. I need to clean this up big time. Fold this in half. And it's just a trash bag. Probably from the dollar store or something like that. So I am going to so put these over here, this here. I don't need to save as much space. I got too much stuff out. Guys, clean your shops up. Don't do what I'm doing. Look at this mess. I mean, come on. This is horrible. Okay. Let's undo this one. There, undo this one. So, put these through here. This here for now. Get these lined up a little bit. And then bring these up. There we go. So now when I glue these up, they should be good. So I'm going to glue them up, and then once it's dry, I'm going to cut this piece of padauk, however you say that. You see that all right? Yeah, not really. Let's get over there better. And then I'll cut this with the flush trim saw. Hopefully, I don't know how hard that wood is, but we're going to try it. So some glue on this edge. Now this glue should hold just fine without any sort of nails or any other hardware like that, because it's not going to hold any weight. It's just got to be stuck together. So, put that excess off. Come back down here again. Make sure it's coverage. Yes, it is. Now, slide it down this side. I can't level these things out some here. And squeeze that. Squeeze this. Now push these down. Make sure they're. I mean, I'll resand it and stuff later, but for now I'm just gonna. There we go. Hopefully that is good and glued there. It's gonna get cleaned up later. And there it is. So, okay, it should be dry. It's been, I don't know. I think I gave it, I don't think I did anything to it yesterday. So a full day's worth of work on it. Or drying on it, I mean, sorry. That's what it looks like so far. Of course I gotta clean that up. But I don't worry about that right now. That's the finished part. Next, slice this piece off here. So, I was gonna cut these pieces off. But I figured I'd just cut this down first. Make it a little easier as a brace right here. So let's see how hard this stuff is to cut. First off, this is in the way. Alright, I need to clamp this down. I need a nice bench vise. Alright, that's good enough. I can get another clamp out that end. Gives me enough room to get in there. There we go. Get a better saw. This is just getting ridiculous. Oh shit, I'm cutting way down inside that. God damn it. Cutting way down inside my piece of mahogany here. As you can see, that right there, underneath it. I don't know if I can get that to push down and get my blade underneath there. So I'm going to finish cutting this thing eventually, so I'll be back when that's done. Alright, I finally got it off there. Now, I cut through most of it, and then I got to about here-ish. As you can see, my little bit of that right there, and then right here where I was going in this direction, coming in this direction, get in the middle. Once I got about that, I just took my hammer, knocked her loose, because I got to send this through the planer. It's chewing that all up right there, so I got to thin this down even more, and then get that part there chunked out in the middle. So I'm just going to run it through the planer like this, whole piece. That way the snipe will stay on the ends here, and get that cleaned up. Yeah, it's ugly. So once I get done planing it, I'll be back. Alright, there it is after planing. Needs a sanding, but that's okay. You can even see a little bit of the snipe right through here a little bit. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's right there and there, and a little bit here. So I'm not going to worry about that right now, because I'm just going to trim off these pieces. Should use my table saw with a nice crosscut sled. I don't have a crosscut sled yet. I do have a little miter, the little miter thing that comes with it, which would work just fine, but my table saw is a big mess. I'm just going to go ahead and just do this on the miter saw there and chop off the ends. It's not bad so far. Now, what I'm thinking about doing is cutting it straight down through here, cutting these in half here-ish, and adding this in there. So actually, that piece of snipe I might just cut off right there. And actually down here at the end too. Just cut those little snipe corners off. Get rid of them. And then I can add this. Yeah, there's enough there. So let's cut those snipes off. Let's go snipe hunting, I guess. There we go. I'll clean up the corners and stuff once I get done with everything, because I'm going to route everything and do all that kind of jazz. So now, I don't know if I want to do an even piece on each side, which I think I do. Yeah, so I'm going to figure out where I want this, adding a little stop block, which is just a piece I just cut off. And then adding the stop block to here somewhere. I'm just going to randomly pick this spot right now. See if I like where it looks. Take this piece, stick it in there, and say, I'm doing it. Good enough for me. Oh, look how stupid that was. So here's what I'm going to do. It doesn't have to be anything major. It's not like I'm going to be slamming it up against the side of it. So we'll just take this. Problem solved. Okay, now over here. Yeah, so this is the way they came off. That's the way they came off. That is not the way it came off. That's the way they came off. Okay, so now I'm going to put this in this side, and this in this side, like that. So now I need to clean up. Cut this in half. Make sure I give myself plenty. Oh yeah, if I just go in half, pencil is somewhere in this mess. My pencil is somewhere in this. There it is. Okay, so anywhere right there is good. Okay, there we go. So now I've got a chunk to put in between each of these. So the flush side, there, flat side I should say, there. I'm just going to put those in there like that. Glue them up. And I will trim all this stuff down later. There it is. So now I want some nice flat surface to glue this down, and once that's glued, I'll go ahead and clamp it down with the. Yeah, this will be good enough clamp. Yeah, that'll work. I'll just use that as a clamp, and we'll call it good. So. After the glue, once I glue it, I'm not going to shade the gluing, but I'm going to glue and clamp this and let it dry. Okay, it's done glue drying. So now I'm just going to sand these off. Just buzz them off on here, here, and some up here to get it nice and flat and sand it down. It's not the best look right there. Hopefully some sanding will fix that, make it look a little bit better. So sand it, and I'll be back once I get all that sanding done. It's going to take a while. Alright, so here, it's all sanded down. Took it down to 220. Nice and smooth. A little gap right here, so I think actually I'll probably go this direction. Well, there's a big gap up here too. This side looks better, but it's got, I might have to sand this side down more to get that out, so keep this side. I was planning on using the other side, but I think I have to sand that down. But anyways, so it took me a few minutes to figure this out. So I took 2 blocks, held them side by side, and then sanded them down to an angle as, oh shit, as little feet to go glue on the back. So when it sits, it'll have little resting points like this. And there'll be one glued here and one glued here. So I'm going to go ahead and resand this side down some more, see if I can't get this glue, because this side's got gaps. So I'll make this be my back side. Clean this side up some more, sand it down. See if I can, like I said, there's that glue mark right there. Sand this down, make it nice, and this will be the front side, and then I'll glue the legs to the back, and then we'll figure out a resting part for the phone next. Alright, those have been drying for a little while, probably a good hour, maybe 2. I'm not going to do any touching really, playing around with them. It's not exactly dry, hopefully all the way in there, but it needs some good time to settle first. But it sits flat, or sits at an angle that I like. So now I measured this, the width, and it's just over 1.5 inches. So I measured in 3/4 of an inch, drew a line. I don't know if you can really see that. Drew a line down there, and I know I'm going to cut. The curve will be on this side, and keep this side. I'm going to keep those two very close to being the same. So those will go mounted here and here as an actual spot to hold the phone. So I'm going to cut this in half. I just haven't figured out how to cut this in half yet, because I am a little afraid of using all of my table saws and miter saw to cut that, because that is so small. So what I think I'm going to have to cut this in half by hand. I do have a small miter box, which is not in here. I will be right back and go get that. So I think I'll use this to cut it in half. Let's move this out of the way. Let's actually not do that. Let's leave it this way. That gets more drying time. What the hell was I thinking? That's pretty good. Finish it off. There we go. Okay, that is good enough for me. Move this out of the way. So now I'm just going to sand these down and then glue them on the other side right across here. Yeah, so let me get these sandings and we'll be back once I... Alright, I got these 2 little pieces made. Now as you can see, I can't cut straight line. Pretty even on that, but if I flip it over, they're not even that way, but they are equal this way. So, but I'm going to put the 2 longer sides together and put them in the middle like such. There's a small gap in between them, but it's not bad. I need to sand that down right there a little bit. I don't like the way that looks. Looks like there might be a little bit of glue or something on it. That's better. Now I got to soften the edges. Make sure the right ones again. Yep. And we'll glue those down. So here we go. Alright, so spread the glue on here the best I can to try to make sure it gets good coverage. And then when I'm putting it down, I'm slightly putting a little bit of downward pressure on it just to, because I can't clamp it. There's no way of clamping it to anything. I can run nails through it, I guess, but I can't really clamp it. So there it is. It would look really nice if I had a piece of padauk to put down the middle of those two, but meh. Oh well. So let that dry. Okay. It's been a couple hours. Should be good and dry. Good enough to handle now. Let's move these pieces of 2x4 out the way. Alright. There it is. I like it. So it sits like that. Set my phone on it, which we'll see that in a minute, but first I gotta put some OVs on it. Let's bring that grain out, make it look pretty. So it's OV Shine Juice. You can find that on there. It's 1/3 denatured alcohol, 1/3 boiled linseed oil, and 1/3 shellac. The grain just pops out. I mean, just look at the difference in that right there. From that side, this side, to that side. You can see where I got some on my hands there, but look at the difference. That grain just pops on that. So I'm going to put a couple of coats on here, trying to keep my fingerprints from off of it. And then let it dry some. We'll put 2 coats on it. So we'll put a coat on there and let it dry. Come back in a little while, put another coat on it, and go from there and see how it looks. But yeah, so far it is looking nice. Should work good just to hold a cell phone. There it is after 2 coats. In all its nice glory, shiny as can be. And then wife picked me up at, well, that was looked closer in the it looked closer in the in the camera here. Picked me up this nice brand. My brander on there, so I can put my mark on it. And there's my mark on it. So it's right there on the back. And there it is. So of course this is all mahogany. I think. Yeah, leftover mahogany from my Santa Claus cookie tray. One piece of padauk I picked up from Bell Forest, and here it is in use. So I can leave my phone on here. It's pushed all the way back up against the monitor stand. Ignore the razor blade, that was there for another thing. And it just hangs out right there. My phone fits nicely on it. Yeah, a little wobbly when it comes forward, but all I'm going to do is set my phone on it. It's still got room for my mouse. Move around here, so it's all good. But there she is. Let's move this out of the way and you can see her. There it is. All nice and shiny. The only light I've got is over here, so sorry about that. You really can't see much, but there it is. Nice little home for it. This groove here, not going to be used for anything other than just Like I said, it's all scrap wood. So this was left over from another project, like I said, and then this is just some accents that I wanted to add to it just to give it some prettiness. And there it is. Now the glue's only had 3 or 4 hours to dry. I don't remember how long it is, so hopefully it's good enough. But there she is in all its glory. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. Any comments, any ugliness that you see to it, other than a few things that I've pointed out, like that right there, and my glue job up here, and things like that. But it's all right. It's just a scrap wood project that I made just to have someplace better to set my phone that won't fall over. Because if I normally lean it up against the edge of my monitor and the little stand that it's on, and it slides when the table gets bumped. Now it should be good when Madison crashes into the side of my table. So, there it is. Thanks, guys.